His research showed how orangutans of all sex and age classes were shifting to areas with high canopy cover. This movement was driven by a loss of well-structured canopy due to deforestation. With continued deforestation, the orangutans will have less viable choices for habitats, negatively influencing their fitness. Thus, the long-term survival of orangutans in these degraded forests cannot be guaranteed. Next up, we're going to be looking at social behavioral changes in chimpanzees. In addition to changes in foraging and habitat selection, human-induced pressures are also causing changes in primate social behavior. In 2019, Kuo et al.'s research addressed how differences in the behavior of chimpanzees was being influenced by human activity. In his research, he coined the term disturbance hypothesis to describe this event. This hypothesis, human activity depletes resources and interrupts social processes necessary for chimp behavioral development. The research showed that areas of high human activity had chimp communities with an 88% reduced occurrence of a variety of normal behaviors. While habitat loss is often linked to losses in species diversity, this loss of behavioral diversity is a new potential issue. Next, we're moving to Madagascar to look at the different stress responses in collared brown lemurs. In 2014, Michaela Balestri and a group of researchers compared the stress hormone levels of collared brown lemurs in a degraded forest fragment with those of lemurs in a preserved area. This group research found that lemurs in the degraded fragment had higher stress hormone levels than the lemurs living in the preserved area. This study is one of many revealing a common trend in changes in primates caused by human activities. Last but not least, we're moving to Uganda to look at the differing reproductive behaviors in red colobus monkeys. In habitats that have been fragmented or partially destroyed, it is difficult for the female to obtain enough nutrients to support reproduction, and both male and female reproductive hormones are often disrupted due to toxic pollutants and unnatural food sources. For example, in research by Dora et al., it was found that previous logging efforts in Kabale National Park in Uganda have severely degraded the forest. It was observed that female red colobus monkeys living in the degraded fragments mated less often and had a shorter reproductive window than did females living in the old-growth areas. Thus, logging has placed constraints on primate reproductive behavior. After going through all these case studies, it's time for some closing remarks about deforestation and its effect on primate behavior. Through these different studies, we see that by changing the landscape in order to fit their needs, humans are profoundly affecting animal foraging, social, and reproductive behaviors. It's important to study the effects we as humans have not only on the environment, but also on the animals that live in them, because they all work together to create one living system. Animals must change and adapt their behaviors to these new environments, but in some cases cannot do so. Eventually, if humans destroy enough habitats and deplete enough resources, many animals will go extinct. Therefore, it is important to continue to study the effects human industry has on Earth's ecosystems.